Warning. This video you are about to watch that talks about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Infection AU, World in Dark is recommended for people 13 years or older. People under the age of 13 must watch with a grown-up. Viewer discretion is advised. Trigger warning for the following things: flashing lights, blood, gore, body horror, and imagery that is all around fake but might be unsettling for some people. Also, the thing I talk about has no affiliation with Nintendo. Hello all, and happy Halloween. To celebrate the spookiest day of the year, I will be taking a look at Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Infection AU, World in Dark. This is essentially a Super Smash Bros. Alternate universe where a deadly virus, often called the Infection, has spread among the game's characters. The AU explores how the diverse cast of Nintendo characters, well, not just Nintendo characters, there's more than that, would react to and survive a zombie-like apocalypse, often with a focus on horror and survival elements. A couple of things to get out of the way before I talk about this AU: that I will be mainly talking about all the posts that were posted on Luft-P's account. As the new owner hasn't posted a whole lot to cover, and I hope to cover them for next year's Halloween. Also, most of the stuff I show will be from Luft-P's official TikTok, so I will credit him down in the description so you can find him on TikTok. However, for the videos he posted that weren't just slideshows, I will show the clips that were dubbed by GabaLeth, and I will also have them credited down in the description. But for the slideshow bits, I will dub them myself. I know I already had a warning in the beginning of the video and mentioned that this is another one of my 13 plus videos, but I feel like it's warranted mentioning it a second time because Luft-P wasn't messing around with the stuff shown. With that out of the way, let's talk about this AU. Nest notes. Day 1. Cappy's with me. Mario tried throwing Cappy to save himself from Kirby, but since it hit me, it didn't make any effect and Mario got killed. I'm also with the villager, Marth and Sheik right now. I'll write their statuses in the next page. Nest with Cappy. Not infected. Cappy possessed my cap after the incident. We'll try looking for Master Hand or Crazy Hand. Maybe they will be able to help with this chaos. Sheik, not infected. When she heard the chaos, she helped us fight Kirby, procuring to take her distance from the infected. She's been completely silent since then. She seems a little bit stressed. Villager, not infected. He was wandering around the Colosseum when the incident happened. He was the one who amputated Marth's hand. We take shelter in his universe for now. Marth, not infected anymore. He was the most injured after the encounter. Since he was the only hand-to-hand fighter there, one of Kirby's tentacles stung him in the hand, so Villager amputated it to prevent anything. A virus? Mario and I noticed that Kirby was acting weird before he looked weirdly smiley yet worried. Mario tried reaching out to him, but Kirby wasn't himself anymore. The method of infection is stinging with tentacles. We know Kirby is very powerful. That thing is around. We must be careful. I'll keep this diary updated.
This isn't fair. Why is this happening?
So what we have learned so far is that Kirby is the first one to be infected, according to Nessa's notes. I know some people may see Kirby as this cute pink puffball like Jigglypuff, but in actuality, Kirby is an absolute monster. Kirby is one of the few characters in Smash to canonically kill an actual god. Also, we learned that Mario is the first one to fall victim to Kirby. The sad part is that he was just trying to see what was wrong with Kirby since there wasn't something right with him. But then Kirby struck out with these tentacles, basically getting a sneak attack on Mario. We also have a few survivors in this first part other than Ness, being Cappy, Sheik, Villager, and Marth, who was the only one to really take damage because he is the pure melee fighter out of all of them. Because Marth was so close to Kirby, he could attack him with one of those tentacles, and that started the infection process. But luckily, the Villager was able to pull off the Brad Pitt in World War Z and chop off Marth's hand before the infection could spread. We also see the picture of the infected Kirby with Mario's severed arm hanging out of his mouth, just showing how creepy he looks, but also showing how he obliterated Mario. We also see that each character has a stat sheet showing if they are infected, how much health they have, their sanity level, fear level, and hunger. Most of the crew is in good shape. We see that Marth is a bit beat up, but not too bad, seeing that he is missing a dang arm or dang hand.
Ness notes, Day 2. We've decided to find the hands and Kirby's so he won't cause more chaos. We'll be trying to go to his universe to see if anyone can help. Symptoms. With the help of Cappy, I've managed to compile some information that might help us find the virus, or at least detect it for now. I found out Kirby had something weird going on before I noticed his abnormal behavior. This has 3 phases as far as we know. Kirby, infected, phase 1. Completely unaffected by the virus, yet infected. Has a small sting, presumably made by another's infected tentacle. We still don't know where he got infected. Phase 2. It starts about a day after the sting. Dual eyes, completely conscious. Starts feeling pain from the wound. Smiles involuntarily. Looks worried and scared. Here is when we noticed Kirby was acting strange. Phase 3. Empty eyes, blind, progressively empty body, violent but they won't try to hunt. Very hungry, remnants of personality, distorted voice, formation of tentacles they use to presumably spread the virus. Phase 4? I suspect there might be another phase after the third one. I have no evidence for now, but I hope to find more if we manage to find Kirby. Inhale. Take a deep breath. Do you like the cold spring breeze? Go deep inside the green forest and look at the stars falling down. Don't worry. There is no one left in there, nor the village, nor anywhere. The only thing with you is the violent gusts pulling your last taste of safety away. Stop holding on to the ground. His hunger is torturing him, and his appetite is only growing him bigger. You really wish this was all a bad dream, don't you? We found Kirby. Dreamland is gone.
We learn in Chapter 2 that they are actively taking steps to contain Kirby. so he can't cause too much trouble. And more importantly, we get to see what the symptoms of the infection are. Phase 1 of the infection, the characters don't really feel any different, and any onlooker wouldn't be able to tell if they are infected. It isn't until phase 2 when a character starts to look sick. The thing to point out is the wound on Kirby is festering, and the virus is forcing Kirby to put this weird smile on his face. And if you looked at the bottom of the image, you will know that his hunger is at 50%, which is why he felt the need to devour Mario. Phase 3 of the infection steps it up even more with Kirby, and this is where we see him develop the black empty eyes, and at this point he has formed the tentacles that he can use to spread the infection. The only good news is that the infected are not in hunter mode yet, meaning that if you just avoid them, they won't come after you. So the only reason why Kirby attacked Mario is because he approached him to check if everything is okay. It hasn't been confirmed yet at this point, but there may be a fourth phase where the infected may actively try to hunt people down because of their hunger and aggression being at 100%. Now in the second part of Chapter 2, we get some information about what's going on in Dreamland. We also see that Ness and the crew has found Kirby, and now he is this massive monster with tentacles growing out of his mouth and face, and based on what I've dubbed over in that one slide, it sounds like Kirby has consumed everyone that was living in Dreamland, which is why Ness says that Dreamland is gone.
Nest notes, Day 7. We managed to escape Dreamland yesterday. We are trying to recover ourselves a bit in Villager's home before we continue to look for the hands. Cappy already looks better, and even though I got a bit hurt, it's no big deal. Since Marth was still weak from the blood loss, he didn't come with us. The villager looks weirdly calm about this situation. I guess he doesn't even know what is happening. He comes from a pacifist universe after all. Sheik is still worried about something. She wanted to go by herself, but we convinced her to stay since it might be better to be in a group. Dreamland got destroyed by Kirby, but he seems to be self-contained there, at least for now. We couldn't help anyone evacuate to the World of Light since you can only enter it by having an invitation by the hands. We couldn't find either King Dedede or Meta Knight. All the universe's portals are dispersed around the map. Whatever infected Kirby must also be responsible for that. We'll try finding survivors as well as looking for the hands.
Log date day 07. Location base. 23:03 p.m. My investigation about the infection will finally begin. Rob finally brought me the infected it catched yesterday. I've managed to contain it by tying him up. The infected is still in the second stage of the infection. I still so conscious, yet non-violent. Yet I can't trust he will stay like that. I'll research him to find the cure. I have to make sure she is safe. I'll start examining the specimen right now. I have enough caffeine in my veins to work all night. I want this weird feeling to end and be able to return home. Reporting more advances when I find them.
Chapter 3 is where we learn that Ness and the others were able to escape Dreamland, mostly unharmed, and they go to the villager's homeland. We learn that the villager doesn't seem to be panicked by the infection, but that might be because he is from a very peaceful and land, and the threat may not be registering for them just yet. It also seems It seems that Marth didn't go to Dreamland because he was still recovering from his injury, and Sheik seems to be worried about something, most likely concerning Link or Hyrule in general, since that is her kingdom. She also tries to leave on her own, but Ness convinces her to stick with the group for now because of their safety and numbers. While Sheik is a strong fighter, if she went out on her own, and she would probably be killed really quick. We also learned that Kirby is unable to leave Dreamland for some reason, which is a good thing because it means that we won't be able to infect any other people. But Ness also points out that King Dedede and Meta Knight seem to be missing as well. While King Dedede may not be that big of a deal, Meta Knight has always been seen as Kirby's rival, so having him on the team would be a pretty good help for the people who aren't infected. The last thing to point out in this chapter is that all the portals have been dispersed, and Ness believes whatever infected Kirby is responsible for that, which implies they may not just be dealing with a random virus, but maybe something that is sentient or intelligent. The last thing in chapter 3 is somebody else keeping a log other than Ness, and they may be sending Rob, the robot, to bring the infected back to a lab so they can experiment on them and figure out what is actually going on.
Log date, day 08. Location base, 9:34 a.m. He has 2 stings, and according to the opening of the bite, you can see that it is recent. From the last few hours, I would say. He is already starting phase 2 of the infection, so I'm guessing the more stings, the faster the infection. He told me that he was in the forest, unaware of the infection, when something strange attacked him. Rob found him unconscious and without his Pikmin, although in his hallucinations he believes they are still with him. Name, Olimar. Stings, head and abdomen. Health, 30%. 0016 a.m. Olimar is doing fine. The pills have managed to stop the infection, at least temporarily. Although I'm not sure how long the pills will be able to stop the infection. Olimar seems collaborative. His help may represent a big advance on the cure. Log date, day 07. Location base, 23:03 p.m. My investigation about the infection will finally begin. Rob finally brought me the infected it catched yesterday. I've managed to contain it by tying him up. The infected is still in the second stage of the infection. I still so conscious, yet non-violent. Yet I can't trust he will stay like that. I'll research him to find the cure. I have to make sure she is safe. I'll start examining the specimen right now. I have enough caffeine in my veins to work all night. I want this weird feeling to end and be able to return home. We're reporting more advances when I find them. Log date, day 06. Location, base, 2:03 p.m. I found Rob wandering around the forest, so I took him with me. I explained the whole situation to him, and he was willing to help me with the research for a cure. He is a robot, so he is almost certainly immune to the virus. He will definitely be of great help in investigating the virus. Log date, day 02. Location Dreamland, 23:03 p.m. I decided to go to Dreamland to see if Kirby had anything to do with this discomfort. When I arrived, I found the beast he had become. Hidden, I overheard Ness and the others say that Mario died. I still don't know why I'm still alive, but I'm afraid that if I return to the Mushroom Kingdom, I might die since the original Mario doesn't exist anymore. I'll start investigating this. I have to make sure Peach is safe. We have to avenge Mario's death. Log date, day 01. Location, Lumio City, World of Light, 8:31 p.m. I was trying to sleep until I started having these hallucinations. Like flashbacks of something I haven't even experienced. Since that strange feeling I had this afternoon, I have been feeling weird and I have this abnormal feeling that something very bad is happening.
Dr. Mario, not infected. He's afraid of returning back to his universe ever since the original Mario is dead. Smash's universe works differently than the others. His efforts have been in vain so far. Rob, immune. Rob was injured while defending himself from an infected character before meeting the doctor. After that, he served as Dr. Mario's assistant since he can go outside without the risk of getting infected.
"4:34 p.m. I thought the pills might slow down Olamar's infection a little more, but it seems like this thing is stronger. Olamar is entering a phase 3.
In Chapter 4, we learn that the writer of these log entries is none other than Dr. Mario. And in the logs, we learn that Dr. Mario has been having dreams of things that hadn't happened to him in person. In order to get some answers, he went to Dreamland to see if Kirby had anything to do with all of this. While he was there, he overheard Ness talk about how the original Mario had been killed by Kirby. This understandably freaks Dr. Mario out, because now that the original Mario is dead, he thinks that seeing that he is a spin-off Mario, that he may die as well if he goes back to the Mario universe. But even with that knowledge, Dr. Mario still wants to help make sure that the Mushroom Kingdom and Princess Peach are safe. So he started doing research into the infection, and luckily he ran into Rob. He found this guy out in the woods wandering around, and because he is a robot, he can't be infected. And this is why Dr. Mario is using Rob to go out and find infected people and bring them back to the lab. That is where we get to Olimar from the Pikmin games, and we see that he is in the early stages of the infection. So when Rob brought him to the lab, he still had his mind and senses. It also seems like Dr. Mario was able to make some sort of pill that to help stop the spread of the infection. However, we learned that it spreads faster if you have more than one sting on your body, or if the tentacles hit you in multiple spots. Unfortunately, toward the end of Chapter 4, we have seen that Olimar has entered Stage 3 of the infection, meaning that Dr. Mario may have found a way to slow down the infection. He definitely hasn't found a way to cure it.
Have you ever wondered what those shadows are that you see out of the corner of your eyes? It's easy to confuse him for trees or dark spots, but plants don't whisper. They aren't alive. He isn't either. Ring. You know how darkness gives a feeling of solitude. Ring. It is fun how fast leaves and shadows turn into demons at night. Ring. You know you aren't alone, though. He was following you. He was just waiting for you to find him. You have been running for so long. It's exhausting.
In the anthology chapter titled A Game of Watching, Luigi and Yoshi are walking through the forest at night. As they are walking, they keep hearing the sound of bells in the distance. Eventually, they notice this tall monstrosity has been stalking them through woods, ringing a bell. I think the monster stalking them is Mr. Game & Watch, and we also end at a cliffhanger where we don't know if Luigi and Yoshi survived.
Log date Day 08. Location base. 6:38 p.m. Olimar began to mutate, so I made Rob kill him as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, Rob was unable to kill him peacefully, and as he had entered an extremely aggressive state, I managed to take a few blood samples, but I did not find any pathogen or indication of the virus, as I assume that this disease has a non-scientific origin. 6:43 p.m. Inside Olimar's body, Rob found his infected Pikmin devouring him from the inside. Because of them, his infection was faster. I sent Rob to kill them too. He got injured, but he managed to kill them before they reached me, so it doesn't matter. With this, I realized that the infection is not only the strange thing that is happening. 6:48 p.m. Since all this chaos began, the rules of the game have changed. Since Master Hand and the Crazy Hand have disappeared, there has been no more combat. Plus, we are trapped in a kind of permanent stamina mode in which, if we die, we have no chance to revive. Blood isn't something we see often here, even with Bayonetta or the Vampire Slayers present. But since the infection, even characters from peaceful universes like Olimar have developed blood, I still don't understand what is happening. Day 9, 6:02 p.m. I could barely sleep. I'm still horribly stressed and suffering from these horrible nightmares. I woke up early to continue analyzing Olimar's body. 2 new people arrived at the base, seeking shelter. Mewtwo and the Mii sword fighter. I put them in confinement. They said that an infected person chased them, so even though I didn't find any marks of any wound, I won't risk letting them pass. I have to be safe. I don't think anyone else can find a cure, and I don't trust them. Me, a sword fighter, not infected. He was looking for a place to hide since he lost the other Miis when he found the base. He said he lost his sword, so he is unarmed. I still think he's sorta suspicious. I can't trust him. Mewtwo, not infected. He told me he was getting chased by an infected Pokemon trainer when he found the Mii, and in the base. He also added that the trainer was not chasing the Mii, only him. It makes the infection more confusing, but I still can't trust him.
Ness notes, Day 9. After crossing the jungle, we found the base with some lights on. We will try to get inside to see if there are any more survivors. Everyone came this time, although Marth is still weak.
In Chapter 5, we learned that Olimar's infection has gotten too severe, so they actually had to put him down and to make his death even more sad and gross. They actually found a bunch of little Pikmin inside his body, and they were devouring him alive, which was why the infection was moving so rapidly. With him, this also might seem that the pills are more effective than Dr. Mario may think, and Olimar was just a patient that had a lot of bad stuff going wrong with him. This chapter also revealed that the Smash world has changed completely. Since the infection arrived, that change being the Smash characters now have blood. Also, when the characters die, they don't come back on their little disc like they do in the game, and they stay dead. Some good news in the chapter though is that Mii Sword Fighter and Mewtwo actually pop up at Dr. Mario's base, and they both seem to be clean from the infection. However, they were chased by an infected character, and that character is the Pokemon trainer. Finally, the chapter ends with Ness and his group finding Dr. Mario's base in the woods.
This game used to be so colorful, didn't it? It was the idea. Why did you have to make that silly mistake? Why did you have to ruin this fun little world? Are you even aware of what you did? Do you think that idea was worth it? I guess sometimes you just want to drown all your problems, but no amount of water will dissolve what you signed for.
Now, that was an interesting anthology episode. It shows Snake running from an infected inkling and then jumps into the water to get away, only to be confronted by an eldritch monstrosity version of the female inkling. I think it's sad that Snake is the first character to die on screen. But what I think is more interesting about this chapter is the description that I just read before playing the animation. It may just be a theory about how Smash went from a cute game to more of a gritty game, with them adding characters like from M-rated games like Snake, Bayonetta, and Joker, implying that this might be the cause of why the infection is happening in this world, turning these more innocent characters violent.
So, you found another infected. Are you sure you killed it? Leave it down there. I'll check it later.
In Chapter 6, we see that Rob returned to the base with a seemingly dead Pichu. Pichu was able to trick Dr. Mario and Rob by playing dead, and he was able to freely roam the lab. I assume Mewtwo teleported away from Mii Swordfighter because he wanted to see what was going on, but he ended up getting ambushed by Pichu. That's right, one of the worst and the weakest characters in both Smash and Pokemon managed to take down Mewtwo. We also learned that the more stains a character gets, the faster the infection spreads, so Mewtwo is screwed here. At the end of the video, we see the Smash Ultimate roster, and we see who is alive, dead, or infected at the moment. It looks like Yoshi didn't make it out of the forest, and it looks to be confirmed that Mewtwo is dead.
We want everyone to be safe. Please follow the instructions to make sure everyone survives.
Will they?
Greetings, inhabitants of the Mushroom Kingdom. Here's your princess to inform you of an imminent crisis nearby. Please remain calm and listen to the following instructions to keep you and your friends safe. There is is a dangerous virus affecting certain inhabitants, specifically those who have invitations to Super Smash Bros. As far as we know, anyone who does not have an invitation is immune to the virus, but not to the attack of the infected. We do not know Mario's whereabouts, so we invite everyone to stay in the safety of their homes, and if you are in one of the following areas, please evacuate to a safer zone. You could be in danger. Western regions of the kingdom. Rainbow Curse. Mushroom Kingdom 2. Golden Plains. Grassy Planetoid. Mario Circuit. And New Donk City Hall. As your princess, I really hope everyone is safe during these times of crisis. We've been in worse situations before, so I ask everyone...
Interesting video. I love the VHS filter to the emergency broadcast. It reminds me of an analog horror video. We also learned that Luigi survived the forest incident, and he's able to alert Peach and Daisy about what's going on so they can at least inform the people of the Mushroom Kingdom of what's going on. But then an infected piranha plant has bursted through the window, indicating that Luigi, Peach, and Daisy didn't survive. Also, Mewtwo now has a question mark, so he may be making another appearance in the future. Also, just as a quick side note, that if Sonic gets it, would be very easy for him to spread the virus due to how fast and strong he is.
Great, who could it be now? Oh, you.
Doctor, I'm so glad you're okay. I thought you were...
Dead? I know. Kirby killed the original me.
Yeah. How do you know?
Long story short, I know he died right in front of your eyes.
Oh, okay. Oh, are you researching the virus too?
Yeah. By any means, you brought any food?
Oh, no, but we have some at our...
Mamma mia, forget it. I'll go get Rob to check you on your little team. In the meantime, stay here.
I'm so glad we found you. We can compare notes and...
Yeah, whatever, kid. Just don't cause more problems. Huh? You! Where's the other one? What do you mean he teleported away? Kid, stay here while I go find my assistant. Rob, where are you? I need your help with something.
Ness, we gotta go.
He isn't lying. He wouldn't lie either. He doesn't know, but she might have suspected it from the beginning.
In Chapter 7, we pick up from where Mewtwo is being stabbed by Pichu, and it is really sad seeing Mewtwo crying on the ground here. And he knows that he cannot escape the infection, and he's been stabbed way too many times. We also know that he is infected now because we don't see the question mark and it goes full purple. After that, it is confirmed that Ness and his crew found Dr. Mario. We get a brief conversation between Ness and Dr. Mario where Dr. Mario is kind of a jerk, which may be because he is under a lot of stress and his original self is dead, so he can come some slack. After the conversation, he finds out that Rob and Mewtwo are gone, and this is where everything goes downhill. First, we see Rob being broken into bits, which sucks because he was one of the few characters who was immune to the virus. Next, we see Mewtwo cast a confusion ray on Mii Swordfighter, which is why we see his eyes move back and forth before turning dark and sending a tentacle through his skull. It also looks like he was able to do the same thing with Ness, but Cappy was able to help him avoid the attack. Then we see everyone start to scramble away, and Dr. Mario gets separated from the rest of the team, and he ends up back in the operating room where they worked on Olimar. And as if the situation wasn't already bad enough, it looks like the infected characters get very resilient once they get to the later stages of the infection. So Dr. Mario thought that Olimar was no longer living, but it seems that he was wrong, and that miscalculation may have cost him his life. We see that he got caught in between Olimar, Pichu, and Mewtwo. It also looks like Mewtwo and Pichu fused together to become even more powerful.
Hey, Pit.
Lady Palutena!
Pit, I have a mission for you.
Of course!
Do you remember that Smash Brothers game we were invited to?
Yeah, I just saw Doctor.
Pit, you have to go there and help your friends.
Of course, Lady Palutena! But what can I do?
I need you to find every single guest of the game and bring them to the world of light. Together, we all might have a chance. Everyone has to be here.
On the go, lady!
Don't go just yet. You should be worried about getting infected, Pit. You'll get the virus if any of the victims stings or stabs you with their tentacles. I have located Mega Man. Find him. He's mostly immune to the virus, by being a robot and all.
Awesome! I won't fail you, Lady Palutena!
Good luck. I'm sorry, Pit.
Hey, Mega Man! Palutena said... Ah! No, wait! Robots can't be infected! Right?
Why do they have to suffer as much as you do? I know it wasn't your intention. Was it your fault, though? You certainly think it is, don't you? This isn't part of your imagination. They are not real, right? But you are. And you can't let yourself be consumed by whatever horror you created. You created them.
In the next anthology, we see Pit and Palutena, and she tells Pit that he needs to go back to the Smash universe and gather every contestant and take them to the world of light, which is where you would have to go defeat Golem in Ultimate Story Mode. It looks like Palutena wants to gather everyone there so they can so they could have a fighting chance against the infection. Something seems off about her in this discussion, but Pitt doesn't seem to recognize it. She tells him about Mega Man and where to find him, and then we see that she is at phase 4 of the virus. A plausible theory is seeing that Palutena is a goddess and is very powerful, so she may be able to fight off the infection better than some of the characters, but even with all that power, she is still slowly being taken over, which is why she sent Pitt on a mission, so he isn't there when she turns. The next thing we see is that Pitt found Mega Man, and the first thing we noticed is that he has a crack in his helmet, and then he turns around and he seems to be missing one of his eyes.
Mess notes. Day 10. We're already back at Villager's house. I should go to sleep, but I don't think I can after what I saw. Sheik has been trying to keep me company after what happened, and Marth has been helping Villager calm down. I will update my notes from the data I was able to obtain from the doctor's lab. Phase 1. Updated. They won't cause pain in the affected area unless the tentacle went too deep into the flesh. It is usually where the tentacles start to appear. This stage can be skipped if the wounds are too deep. Phase 2. Updated. The infection begins to spread from the wound. The veins around it begin to look black, even though the blood of the infected person remains the same reddish tone. Taking into account Dr. Mario's notes, apparently, the sanity and the fear of the infected plays a crucial role in the speed of infection. Phase 3. Updated. At this stage, they are already condemned. Dr. Mario said in his notes that he performed an autopsy on Olimar's body while he was in this phase, and we already know how that ended. To our surprise, in this phase, the infected are surprisingly intelligent and agile, despite their disoriented state. Phase 4. Updated. From what I saw today with Olimar, they appear to be able to survive extreme damage, such as the autopsy, and are able to work together, like Pichu and Mewtwo. They mutate into a twisted version of themselves, and from what we've seen, everyone has a totally different mutation. Their only common attribute is their violence. Mario, I'm so sorry. I failed you for the second time. Cappy feels awfully devastated. He hasn't spoken since we left the lab. I was so close to death. I don't even know why I'm still alive. Why did Mewtwo let me go? Do I deserve to live more than Mario? I'm not feeling okay either. I'll try to get some sleep, even though my head still hurts.
On that day, when our light went away, this world started to end. In your eyes did a fading sun rise in the dark, turning off your voice. Noises grow in the spaces between, stretching you beyond time. Rising up's not an option that you can take on flickering through your heart. These little sparks fight for their lives. Everyone suffers the struggle. And then the storms of change, they fan the flames, destroying wishes to the wind. Colors fade into a spiral of shame. A distant voice calls to a past with no end. Tell your tale, the choices have to be made. You're not okay when you cannot be yourself. Colors fade into a spiral of dark. The voices now started coming from far. This monster that you made just cannot be damned. Now you can only ask on why you are even alive.
So we got 2 more posts to go over in the finale that gives us some more of Ness's notes and informs us what he and his team did after the seeming demise of Dr. Mario. We learned that Ness and his crew went back to Villager's world so they can read Ness's notes and compare them with Dr. Mario's so they can get more information. We don't learn a whole lot of new stuff considering that we already got to see both Ness's and Dr. Mario's notes the whole time, so we kind of know more than they did individually. But they do confirm that the infection spreads faster if the person is panicking or if their sanity is already low. And the notes also confirm that the infected targets are able to maintain their intelligence even in the later stages of the infection, meaning that they can still their hunger or their need for violence long enough to actually craft a plan to attack their foes, which is really why this infection is more dangerous than a lot of other infections. Usually as people get deeper into the later stages of the infection, they start to lose their mind and their ability to think. This infection is almost sentient because they get smarter and more craftier as the deeper they go into the infection, which shows us that this infection may be intelligent in some way or another. It also feels like this infection is like a parasite or a brain worm that takes over the person's body and is able to control it and move it to their will while the person is still inside and will be able to see what is going on, but they can't actually do anything to stop themselves. Now the ending is really interesting because we see the words "Why am I still alive?" which is being said by Dr. Mario, and we see tears in his eyes and very beat up, but most importantly alive. Then we see this leg in view, which is later to be revealed as Banjo and Kazooie. This is confirmed when we see Banjo and Kazooie's picture pop up on the roster. Banjo and Kazooie will most likely be helping Dr. Mario, and something else that stood out is that Mega Man's picture is still normal and he seems to be fine. Dr. Mario, of course, is still alive too. But we also see that Mii Swordfighter wasn't as lucky and is infected too. The last thing to point out in this particular video is that Marth's picture seems to be turning purple a little bit, which makes me think that when Villager chopped off Marth's hand to slow down the infection, it didn't stop, but rather just slowed it down.
Ness with Cappy. Not infected. I'm so tired. I haven't slept well in a day. Those nightmares won't leave me alone no matter how hard I try to have some rest. I don't even feel like I can keep going, but I have to. For Dr. Mario. Villager. Not infected. Villager has been closeted recently. Only now he started to realize how awful the infection is. He seems much more careful and tries to stay closer to us. Marth seems more determined to end this virus, even though his state is not perfect, to say the least. He's our leader now, I guess. Sheik, not infected. Sheik has been talking to everyone a lot recently. She often starts conversations about all sorts of stuff and seems more stressed out. She talks a lot to me and asks how I'm feeling. I don't want her worrying about me. Banjo and Kazooie, not infected. They were the ones who saved Dr. Mario despite this situation. Banjo and Kazooie remained as their normal selves, no injuries or anything like this. They also seem pretty calm, relaxed even, for now at least. Dr. Mario, not infected. It's a miracle Dr. Mario managed to even survive with these injuries. He lost half of the skin on his face with half of his lip. His left eye can barely see now. Even though he has several injuries on his body, none of them are fatal. He uses a stick to help himself to stand and walk just in case.
Here we still know that Dr. Mario is still alive, but not without taking some severe injuries to his face thanks to the infected characters at his base. We see that one of his eyes is nearly destroyed and half of his face has been completely torn away and even part of his mouth is gone. He even has to walk around with a cane, kind of like Dr. House. But other than that, his mind is completely intact, and that's the most important thing because they need Dr. Mario in order to find a cure. The people to save him have been confirmed to be, in fact, Banjo and Kazooie, and their sanity is still high. Marth has also caught my attention when I saw that his infection status is now hidden, which may be confirming that Marth may be infected, and this is extra scary because they know Marth the leader, and they may not be aware that he is slowly being infected. We also have Ness, and while he's still doing pretty good as far as physical health goes, but mentally he is not doing great at all. He hasn't been able to sleep because he has been having crazy nightmares, and I feel bad for him because he is only 13, meaning that he's still just a kid. Villager is still alive, but he's finally starting to understand how much trouble they are in, meaning that he understands how dangerous this infection is, while in previous chapters he was still very happy and lucky. Finally, we have Sheik, and we don't have to get a huge update for her, but we learn that she has been more talkative, most likely, because she is afraid and worried about the people close to her. She's especially talking to Ness and confirms this idea. She realizes that Ness isn't doing okay. With the return and the help of Dr. Mario, I think we are going to see him be a big part in actually creating a cure, or at least find out what is actually causing this virus. And that was the last Halloween video I am doing here, and let me out, Dr. Evil Geek. Congratulations. You have succeeded in what I said by doing 5 weekly Halloween videos. Your reward will be me letting you back into the outside world. It's about time. With that out of the way, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified for new videos. Also be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. But always, my name is Matt Green, and I have a movie to promote, so I will see you at the premiere and hope you guys have a nice day. And stay spooky out there. Ooh. Okay, goodbye. Okay. Alright, so I got that interview at 12 tomorrow so I have to gather up the plush cast and head over to Luft-P.
I see it, and now it's all within my reach. I see it now. It's always been inside of me.